I don't know why they're off.
If you're really concerned about it, join the board.
Yep. You got the pledge tonight. You got the pledge.
Okay.
Call to order the special meeting of the Chino Valley Planning and Zoning Commission, January 15th, 2019. Mr. Pasiak, would you lead us in the pledge?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Armstrong,
Here.
Commissioner Welker,
Here.
Commissioner Bacon,
Here.
Commissioner McCafferty,
Here.
Commissioner Meters,
Here.
Vice Chair Pasiak,
Here.
Chair Merritt.
Here, and I'd like to make sure that Mr. Bacon is officially recognized as well as Gary.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, okay.
Moving forward to the minutes, item 4A, consideration of possible action to approve the December 4th, 2018 regular meeting minutes. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes? Anybody have any questions, comments, or corrections? I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as printed.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. Any other discussion or questions or modification? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I'm going to abstain because I wasn't at the meeting. All right, item 5, staff reports. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Again, Martin Scribner, town staff, and thank you for everybody making time on your schedule tonight for a special meeting. Obviously, January 1st wasn't a great time to have a meeting for you guys, so tonight's much better. Just to keep everybody in the know here, so don't forget we have training next Wednesday, the 23rd at 6 o'clock in this room. And then we also have a regular meeting coming up on February 5th. We do have an item for that agenda, so please keep that on your calendars. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Okay, moving forward to item 6A in the public hearing portion of the meeting. Consideration and possible action to adopt ordinance 2019-862, amending the Town of Chino Valley Unified Development Ordinance, Chapter 154, by amending Section 1, subsection 1.11, by deleting subsection 1.11.10 in its entirety, and amend subsection 1.6 by amending subsection 1.6.2 to delete administration of the town's property maintenance code, and by deleting section 6 in its entirety, all related to removing property maintenance regulations from the town's zoning code, providing for repeal of conflicting ordinances, and providing for severability. The content of these deleted sections from the Unified Development Ordinance will be reconciled and added to the Chino Valley Town Code so that all the provisions and requirements related to property maintenance shall remain in full force and effect. Alex was going to present, but Mr. Scribner?
I'll go ahead and take care of it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So what we basically have tonight, this is more or less a housekeeping item for the Planning Commission. So what we've got is a section of the code that is currently in the Unified Development Ordinance that's more operational in nature. At the end of the day, the Planning and Zoning Commission doesn't really have the jurisdiction over property maintenance, over code enforcement, things like that. Again, these are things that are more operational in nature. So staff has felt that as they're doing updates to the property maintenance code and how those are handled over time, that this is now is the appropriate time to remove them from the UDO and put them into a separate ordinance that's part of the town code. So basically tonight we're just asking you to forward a recommendation of approval to the town council to remove that information, that piece of the code from the Unified Development Ordinance, and then with the condition that they update and incorporate into another section of the town code.
Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Scribner?
Just one. As I read this, it's talking about deleting and it'll be added to the appropriate code area.
Mhm.
I understand that and agree with that.
Mhm.
My question is, will there be a period of time where it's in limbo, where it's not in either?
No, those will be handled again, so that's why the conditional nature of the recommendation. So that will, when town council goes through the approval of that, assuming that they approve the removal from the UDO, that they'll also approve the adoption of this new piece of code in the same, one right after the other.
Okay.
Anybody else have any questions? Just to make sure I've got it down, so what we're doing is we're just placing the same code in a different portion of the town code so that the town can enforce it and not leave it up to the zoning commission to participate with that. Is that correct?
That is part of it, yes. The other part is to update that code itself, but as long as we're updating it, we're gonna put it in the right spot.
Okay, and so it does not remove any ability for the town to enforce any of the codes. None of the codes will be deleted, just updated so that we still have the same authority and jurisdiction, et cetera.
That is correct.
Okay, good. All right. Anybody have any questions? Okay, so we'll move forward with the public hearing portion of this meeting. Does anybody here have any comments from the public? Okay, seeing no comments on this matter, I'm going to close that portion of the meeting, and I would entertain a motion. They didn't write one for us, so somebody's going to have to step up and speak up.
Well, everybody's looking at me, but I'll do it. Mr. Chairman, I recommend we forward a recommendation of approval to the town council to adopt ordinance 2019-862, amending the town of Chino Valley Unified Development Ordinance, chapter 154, by amending section 1, subsection 1.11, by deleting subsection 1.11.10 in its entirety, and amend subsection 1.6 by amending subsection 1.6.2 to delete administration of the town's property maintenance code, and by deleting section 6 in its entirety, all related to removing property maintenance regulations from the town zoning code, providing for repeal of conflicting ordinances, and providing for the severability subject to the following conditions. That condition being the content of these deleted sections from the UDO will be reconciled and added to the Chino Valley Town Code so that all provisions and requirements related to property maintenance shall remain in full force and effect.
Awesome. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any further discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion's carried unanimously.
Mr. Chair, thank you, and I just want to encourage everybody in the next meeting that's coming up, the study session for town council. Other staff members are going to go over what the changes are to that code, and so any of those updates, as well as how that's going to be handled operationally moving forward. So if you're interested in that, I encourage you to stick around and hear that presentation as well.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so we'll move forward to item 7, non-public hearing action items. We don't have any of those tonight. Okay, any discussion items? Any public comments? This is a part of the meeting where if it's not on the agenda, the public can step up and make some comments about things. So we don't have any of that. Before
Mr.
we,
Chairman, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
And I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Commission. Need to document the time.